With the recent release of Natlin, I thought it was about time to pick up this old series, which is the Genshin Impact Portrait series from around 2021. At the time of this drawing, Navia and Nilu's banners were running, and so I was kind of stuck between the two of them because I wanted to draw a character that was like, that there was a current banner of, and I ended up going with Nilu because I thought that the blue and the red together looked really nice, and I just really wanted to color, like, mainly her hair. I do really like coloring red hair, so that was the main reason why I decided to draw Nilu. This was also around the time when I like first got back into Genshin Impact, so I was just kind of pulling for shits and giggles, and I accidentally ended up with Navia. And I actually don't mind it because I do love her. I finally replaced Diluc, I can't remember how to pronounce the name anymore. I finally replaced him as my main DPS, and he has literally been my main DPS since the release of Genshin Impact 4 years ago. I never switched him, so it was about time to get someone else on. And I do really like Navia, so I am quite pleased with accidentally getting her. I, like many other players who's been around since the release of Genshin Impact, I took a break from Genshin for probably around 2 years. I think Inazuma just really burnt me out. What I like most about Genshin Impact is, like, I guess the Breath of the Wild feel to it. I like exploring, I like gathering stuff and, you know, doing your cute little puzzles and challenges to get chests. Like, I just like the exploration part of it. And I guess also the gacha part, obviously. I like pulling for characters. And I like when it's nice and rewarding and not that difficult. I don't really like when it's too challenging. I'm not really playing for the abyss and stuff like that. So when Inazuma came out, the world puzzles felt a lot more difficult than they've been. Like, they were just hard to understand. They were hard to do. Bosses were really annoying, and just all of Inazuma just felt really needlessly challenging and frustrating. By the time the Chasm came out, that was just my last straw, and I hadn't played since. I didn't like how difficult it was being. I didn't like that I had to, like, turn on my brain for Genshin Impact. I liked being able to just shut off my brain, just sit there and just explore and just have fun. But I just wasn't having fun with the game anymore because everything was just frustrating. But I don't know if it was around the release of Fontaine, but at some point during the whole, like, era of Fontaine, I started hearing about how Fontaine was making people fall in love with Genshin again. Like, I kept getting TikToks about it, and, like, I just missed it. So I picked it back up again at some point over the summer to see what, you know, if it really was like old Genshin Impact. And I was very pleased with Fontaine. I guess Sumeru isn't the worst. Like, Inazuma, hands down has to be the worst place for me. Don't get me wrong, I loved the story quest. I loved the hype for Inazuma. Nothing will ever beat sitting there watching the announcement, like the big, like, live stream announcement for Inazuma, and just the whole hype around it. The place was beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but it just really wore me out once it actually came out. And then I was gone for the entirety of Sumeru. I've obviously done the story quests for it now, and I've explored bits of it. I have not explored all of Sumeru, and it's still a little tedious, especially when I have not touched the desert like pretty much at all. That part is quite tedious. But Fontaine, everything about it is just really nice and, like, chill, and that's what I like about Genshin Impact. I can just explore, and it looks nice and it feels nice, and the challenges aren't that hard, the bosses aren't that hard. The puzzles don't crave too much brain power. Like, it is rewarding because I'm not seeing puzzles and then just walking away from them because I can't bother to Google how to do them, and I'm not going to sit and try again and again and again because I just don't have the patience for that. And yeah, it felt nice to play again, and I am back into Genshin Impact. I have been for maybe a month now, maybe a little longer, I'm not sure. But yeah, I have enjoyed Fontaine, and so far I am also enjoying Natlin. So I think that I really feel like MiHoYo, I guess they're HoYoverse now. I really think that the creators of Genshin Impact have listened to us, because I'm pretty sure that a lot of people have thought the same things as me, which is why a lot of the first, you know, like the release date players just kind of took a long ass break. It's just because places like Inazuma and the Chasm and Sumeru just kind of just wore us out, and I think it lost a lot of the parts that made Genshin Impact so enjoyable for a lot of people. And I think it's nice that they've listened to the criticism and have found ways to bring us back, and now old and new players can enjoy Genshin Impact together, and I think that's quite nice. To this drawing, I actually screen recorded this whole, not the whole process, but almost the whole process, instead of just taking the automatic Procreate video that Procreate records for you and using that as my YouTube video. After my peach drawing, and with like the really bad quality video, I just really didn't want to risk that again, and I thought maybe it'd be interesting to see more than just like a still image changing. I don't know if that makes sense, but here you can kind of see me zoom in and like rotate the illustration. You can see me changing the brush size and the brush that I use, changing the colors. You can actually see, like towards the end of this video as well, you can see me start messing around with layer modes and like opacity, just different stuff like that you can't see otherwise, and I thought that might be a little interesting. And yeah, it just gives me more, I guess, creative freedom with this video as well, since it's not just the pre-recorded video that Procreate does for me. I have to speed it up myself and, you know, just do whatever with it and make sure that the quality wasn't really bad like last time. So yeah, I hope that you guys like this format of videos, and if you do or you don't, please let me know. The only problem though was that I kept forgetting to record in landscape mode instead of portrait mode. So for a large portion, like in the middle of this video, I did screen record in portrait mode. I did forget. I'll try to do better for next time though. And my drawing process was, I guess, pretty much the same as usual. I've kind of taken, you know, the same old mixed with some newer techniques that I've done, like with the peach video with rendering, and adding all the layers into just one big layer and just kind of like working and rendering and going in with details there. So I've kind of taken old methods mixed with my new methods, and I'm really happy with the outcome. I think it worked really well. So I start with the sketch. I have a few layers of like messy sketches, and then I go in with like a clean sketch, which ends up being my line art. And then I set the line art layer mode to multiply, and then I normally go in with like maybe a brown or something, just to have that as my little like line art just while I'm coloring. I put down all the base colors, and then I do quick shading, but then I leave the tinier details and stuff for when I render. And after all the shading, I duplicate all my layers, like the coloring and the line art, and I merge it all into one massive layer. And there I go in and I do all the little rendering. I go in with all the little details and fix up things that were just too annoying to fix back when I was restricted with all the different layers. And then after the rendering, I did the background and foreground. And once I've finished all that, then it's time to go in with layer modes and just kind of mess around with the lighting and stuff. And yeah, you'll see all this throughout the duration of this video. And that's just kind of my process. And I do like this method. I think this is really working for me, and I think I'll probably keep doing this in the future. I am especially happy with how the hair and the eyes turned out. Those are always my favorite parts to color in anyway, so I'm not really that surprised that they turn out the best. It's probably what I put the most effort into. And yeah, at the end you'll see that I add like water around Nilou, just to kind of as a little reference to her water or her hydro ability. So that's why I wanted to add that. And each of these little portraits are very inspired by the character's splash art, I guess it's called. Like the drawing that you or the illustration that you see when you pull for the character. I'll show a picture of Nilou's up on screen now. So whatever ability you see the characters use there, I try to like incorporate that into my little Genshin portraits. And yeah, normally, or in the past, I would draw two portraits together, kind of like a series, and have that in one video. But when I screen recorded this, I ended up with so much footage. I'm shocked I managed to get it down to just 20 something minutes. So I'm just gonna leave it just one character instead of two, like I normally would do. Like I would normally draw Nilou, say, with Navia, since both of them had their banners at the same time. I think I'm just gonna draw whatever character I want, to be honest. Probably whatever character has just recently come out, or whatever banner is currently going on. That's probably how I'll decide which characters to draw next. So yeah, if you want to see kind of like the work in progress, just other parts of this drawing or other drawings, then go follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I do post on both platforms multiple times a week, so go follow me there if you're interested in seeing more. To what I've been up to lately, I have been reading Happy Place by Emily Henry. I mainly only read fantasy, but I have this library app for my Kindle, and I kind of just saved a bunch of books that had like the longest waiting lists, and I just kind of put myself on the waiting list. And yeah, so Happy Place was just one of those books that had a really long waiting list. I've been on it for a few months, and then all of a sudden it was available, so I'm just reading it now. It's out of my comfort zone because it's contemporary romance, but she's a big author. A lot of people love her books, so I'm giving it a shot. Other than that, I have mainly been playing Genshin Impact. I've been playing a lot. I am mainly working on whatever drawings that I'm currently working on, or I am reading, or I'm playing Genshin Impact, and that's taking up a lot of my time. Other than that, I am also currently away. I am in England now, so little update. I'm not in Norway anymore. I'm not by my studio, so videos will kind of have to be digital until I've moved into my accommodation in September, or like end of September sometime. To my current art projects, with the hype of like the 5.0 release and the release of Natlin, we're getting all these new characters. There's a new banner, or there's a banner for a whole new character. I thought it'd be fun to make another video with the same like concept of a video that I've done before. I think I've done it 2 or 3 times in the past, and I really enjoy those videos, and I thought that they'd be quite, a little interesting. So the next video will be a draw the Genshin characters that I pull video, and I think that will be quite fun. So expect that for next Sunday, hopefully, depending on how long it takes for me to draw multiple characters. And other than that, while we're away, I am hoping to get some sketchbook drawings done. I can't record it because I don't have my tripod, but if you follow me on Instagram or on TikTok, I will be posting it there. And otherwise, I can try to make shorts, like YouTube shorts out of them. But your best bet is probably to just keep up with me on one of my main, like, everyday platforms, which would be Instagram or TikTok. But yeah, that's really everything I have to say about this video. Let me know what you guys think about this video format. And I want to hear your thoughts about Genshin Impact and, like, just how it's going. What your thoughts about, like, Natlin and just, like, these new places are. I'd love to hear someone else's opinion about it. And yeah, I'll see you guys next Sunday.